I'm not saying that you should never, you know, touch your horse's ears. Your horse should absolutely be... He's asleep.
He was asleep.
Sorry, Roman.
That's okay. Aw. Take out.
Yeah.
He was totally snoozing.
I should have pet his head first. He snorted and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, ah, don't touch me.
He's like, I'm awake now.
Well, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Deanna Corby with Deanna Corby Dressage. I'm a dressage trainer, instructor, competition judge, and USDF bronze medalist. Thanks so much for joining me today. Recently I took a poll on Facebook to see what you guys wanted to see in my videos. And I had a bunch of great ideas. If anyone else wants to send me their ideas, please feel free to do so. I'll put my email address up on the screen for you. You can send me your ideas of any videos that you'd like to see, horse training tips, rider position tips, product reviews, any questions that you have. I'd love to answer them for you. What I wanted to talk about today, one of the questions that I had or comments that I had on my Facebook poll was how important groundwork is to your time in the saddle, and how the horse's respect for you relates to what you do in the saddle. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that today. I've noticed that maybe a lot of dressage riders, or just people in general who are really excited to go to the barn and do their jump course or their trail ride or their dressage test, they don't maybe spend quite enough time on groundwork, and those holes become apparent in your training when you are in a sticky situation, maybe when you're trying to get your horse to load up onto the trailer, or when you're away from home, away from your horse's comfort zone, doing something new. So I first wanted to start off mentioning that I'm trying to keep Roman, my horse here, in a healthy distance away from me. And I think that that is step one to correct groundwork. So if you'll notice, I have him here on a very long, a slack lead rope. And when he tries to sneak closer to me, I address him so that he is not welcome in my space. And for purposes of the camera, you know, I do have to have him a little bit close to me, but I'm not rubbing all over him. I'm not touching his nose. I'm not hugging his face, even though I do want to do that stuff because I love my horse. But I try to keep always a healthy distance from my horse. And if I want to pet him, I pet his shoulder or something like that. But this is his space and this is my space, and that's kind of where groundwork starts. And I think that that is the one thing that is kind of overlooked when we're working with our horse. A healthy space between the handler and the horse. And you'll notice that when I have to move him away from me, I don't touch him with my hand. I don't go and press his shoulder or press his face. I kind of speak to him with my body language and even my lead rope here. So Roman has his space, I have my space, and now because we have this healthy respect for one another's space, I can then tell him what to do, other things to do, and we can kind of go from there. I can move his haunches around, I can move his shoulders around, I can back him up and move him forward and stuff like that without without him crowding me. So this is going to be step one in teaching your horse correct groundwork. So throughout the past few minutes in this video, you'll notice that I have not moved my feet at all. Roman has come to visit me a few times, or has tried to, But I told him to move away with my lead rope and my body language, and I did not back away from him. I own this space, and he can have that space over there. So, my trainer friend says, whoever moves their feet first loses. And I think that there's a lot of truth to that. Horses are herd animals, and they herd each other around. The boss horse moves the other horse out of the way of the water or the hay or whatever. And that means the horse that moves is the loser, or the less dominant creature between the two. But because I have stood my ground and I did not move away from Roman coming next to me, too close to me, that means I'm the winner. And I'm the dominant being of the two of us. So that's going to translate to when you are getting near the mounting block and you're getting your horse ready to get on, and that's going to translate to the saddle that you are in charge. You're not a tyrant, but you have expectations that the horse has to follow whatever you're doing. And it starts you guys off on the right foot, from when you go and get your horse in the pasture to when you go to the cross ties and you're getting tacked up. So I feel that this relationship here that I have with this horse, I feel in charge, and that I feel safe. I feel like I can tell him what to do, and he respects my space, and that I feel like we're going to have a successful ride or a successful session in hand, or whatever we're going to do for the day. I think that this is very important to not overlook in your ground training when your horse is young, or when you guys are first working together. If your horse feels welcome to crowd your space, he might also feel welcome to ask for a treat or demand a treat, heaven forbid, or certainly become mouthy. When you are overcorrecting your horse by touching his face, or maybe you're just encroaching on his space by touching his lips all the time and hugging his face, and if there's not a clear respect of boundaries in between the two of you, your horse can absolutely become mouthy and pushy and test the boundaries of who is in charge and who is dominant. I get a lot of questions about treats, giving horses treats from your hand, making your horse mouthy, but really it's not the treats, it's the groundwork and the respect and the relationship you guys have together. I've had Roman here since he was 9 months old, and I do train with positive reinforcement, meaning treats or a release of pressure, praise, stuff like that. I even have carrots in my pocket, and Roman knows that, I'm sure, because he has a good sense of smell, but he is not asking for any treats, and he is not encroaching on my space because I have this relationship established. My dance space, his dance space, separate. He's got to be his own man, his own person, and this is going to keep us both safe. And the more respect we have for each other, the more respect he has for me, really and truly, the happier he is. Undisciplined dogs, undisciplined children, undisciplined horses are not happy. They don't know the expectations, they don't know what they should do, and those are the unhappy horses and dogs and kids, the ones without discipline and without clear boundaries. So I would recommend starting off with teaching your horse groundwork by just teaching him about your personal space. Do not encroach on his space, and definitely don't let him encroach on your space. Even though it's best to have personal space in between you and your horse, I'm not saying that you can't ever touch your horse's face to groom him and stuff like that. You need to be able to do all of that stuff. But I'm just saying, don't make it a habit to crowd your horse's space and overcorrect him with your hand to move him away from you. Try to correct him from a distance and have this kind of distance at least kind of be your norm whenever you're leading your horse or trying to move him, do your groundwork. And I think that will set you guys off on the right foot for doing more advanced groundwork and then for carrying it, your relationship over to the saddle. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the red button below, and to share this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!